So Avengers Doomsday is slowly approaching and it's coming out December 18th, 2026. It is still like over a year away, but it is slowly approaching, and with that there's been some, rumors going around that we would be getting a part 2 announcement of the chairs, cuz back in I think it was I'm trying to remember when it was. I think it was like a few months ago. I think it was in March of this year. We got the first, like, cast reveal for Avengers Doomsday. It was like this 5 hour long live stream that we got. Yeah, it was in March because that was back when Doomsday started production. And we got this, like, 5 hour long live stream of, a bunch of names on chairs. It was a crazy time because they're literally just they would reveal a name on a chair, and then, like, 10 to 12 minutes would go by, and then they would reveal another name, and then so on. It would just keep going for like 5 hours. And, it was kind of a strange but also kind of exciting time because, everyone was sitting there in live stream, and that you would hear a certain like music kick in, whether it be like Ant-Man's theme or an X-Men theme or like an Avengers theme, and then you'd be like getting excited, you'd be like, oh, who's it gonna be? And then it would just be a name. But some of the names were super, cool because some of the names we had were like Channing Tatum as Gambit, which was, I mean, I wasn't expecting Channing Tatum as Gambit to be in Avengers Doomsday. And then we got some of the other names revealed, like some other X-Men characters. Like we got James Marsden coming back as Cyclops. Like that is crazy. Like we haven't seen Cyclops or James Marsden Cyclops in like years. So, the fact that he's finally coming back to the MCU is pretty cool. And then we got a bunch of other names that were also pretty interesting. Like we got Namor coming back. We got who else was there? There was also Ian McKellen, and then we got Alan Cumming. Like we got a whole list of crazy names. But that, begs the question: is that the only cast for Avengers Doomsday? Because Marvel and Robert Downey Jr. have kind of both said that this isn't the only, like, cast announcement for Avengers Doomsday. So it led a lot of people to speculate that there would be a part 2 chair announcement. And, we've been getting rumors for like months and months and months that, the part 2 announcement would be on this day, or the part 2 announcement would be on this day. And, we would just keep going back and forth. The last time we had the rumored part 2 cast announcement was at D23, which of course didn't end up happening. All we got at D23 was just simply, this like little sizzle reel of like the characters that are already confirmed for Avengers Doomsday, along with like a little, video from the Russo brothers and Paul Rudd. So I think with that in mind, and the fact that Robert Downey Jr. and Marvel themselves have said that there are more people to be revealed for Avengers Doomsday, is there even going to be a part 2 chair announcement, or is this going to be it, and then like the other characters that are going to be in Avengers Doomsday are just kind of going to be like, side characters, like just kind of like background characters that aren't super important? I'm probably going to lean more towards that, just to not get my hopes up, because I'm pretty sure this movie has also wrapped filming, because this movie started filming back in April of this year, and then it just wrapped filming, I think, like a week or two ago. So I think, given the fact that the movie has already basically finished filming, except for, of course, probably some reshoots that they're going to have to do, I think it's probably safe to say, unless, there was a whole list of actors that filmed their scenes and it wasn't revealed to us, then I think it's safe to say that there probably won't be a part 2 chair reveal. At least that is what I'm leaning towards. I could be wrong. And maybe next D23, because there is a rumored D20, or there is a confirmed D23 that is happening August of next year. So I'm thinking if we do end up getting a part 2, like cast announcement, things like that, it'll probably happen closer around the time when the teaser trailers start coming out for this movie, because we are only in September of 2025, and the movie's not coming out until December 2026, at least as of right now. Now, it could be delayed a little bit further, but I'm thinking they're probably going to shoot for that December 2026 release date, because, that's the Christmas, like, holiday time frame, so that's when everybody's going to the movies, so that seems like a, good time to release an Avenger movie. It would be around Christmas time. So I don't get why they would delay it to March or April of 2027. But anyways, getting back to my point is that if there is a part 2 chair reveal, then it'll probably happen around the time when we start. The clock for my thing just turned off randomly. I gotta see if I can turn that thing back on. It might be dead. Well, the clock did in fact die because it just randomly turned off, so I got it on the charger. It's gonna have to charge, so it's just not gonna be on the wall for the rest of the video. But anyways, like I was saying, the like most logical we could expect this part 2 chair reveal to happen, if it does happen, would probably be around the time when the trailers for this movie start coming out, because they're not gonna reveal this like chair live stream thing on just a random Thursday, you know what I'm saying? Because the only reason they revealed the first part of the cast announcement was because Doomsday was starting to go into production, so they had to, reveal some casting for the movie. So if we get a second like trailer reveal, it'll probably be around the time we get either the first teaser trailer or maybe the official trailer. Who's to say? But yeah, I'm thinking that is probably most likely when you can expect a part 2 trailer reveal. And I wouldn't expect it to be like, some big crazy names because, like I said, Doomsday has already finished filming. So unless there is a whole list of actors that have filmed their scenes already and just hasn't been revealed, then I don't think it'll probably be like another 5-hour long live stream. Like it'll probably be maybe around like 2 hours or so, and it'll probably be maybe an extra names or like a couple extra names that like we hadn't heard about, like maybe Mark Ruffalo, because Mark Ruffalo was absent in that initial part 1 trailer reveal. And then Benedict Cumberbatch also said that he was in Avengers Doomsday after originally saying that he wasn't in Avengers Doomsday. So I don't know if maybe he was just, playing with us, saying that, oh, I'm not in the movie, actually I am in the movie, or if he isn't in the movie and he said that, and then Marvel is like, oh, well, you can't just flat out say you're not in the movie, you gotta, keep the intrigue. So he was like, oh, I am in the movie. I don't know, it's hard to say, but if we do get a part 2 trailer reveal, it'll probably not be for like another couple months, I would say, so don't like expect it anytime soon. But yeah, that is basically all I got for this video. You guys let me know if you think that we will get a part 2 trailer reveal and who you want to see on that part 2 trailer reveal. But like I said, it'll probably be maybe a few big names like Mark Ruffalo, Benedict Cumberbatch, maybe Brie Larson, and then it might just be like some, background actors that aren't super important. But I think for now, the main key cast that we have for Avengers Doomsday is the part 1 chair reveal, that we had for like the 36 names that we got in that live stream. I think that is our main cast for Avengers Doomsday, but we'll probably still get some other characters in a potential part 2 chair reveal. But anyways, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Just thought I'd throw that out there. We are only 69 subscribers away from 700. We are at 631. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. And you guys let me know if you're looking forward to Avengers Doomsday. I'm pretty much looking forward to it. I know some people are kind of mixed on Avengers Doomsday because they don't really like the Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom casting, which I do kind of understand. That does kind of seem like a desperate move, but I'm looking forward to it. It's probably going to end up being fire, and I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.